Now I know what you were thinking. Aunt Bee's passion? Just what the heck are you talking about? And how dare you? Well, first off, we're talking about the actress who played Aunt Bee, Francis Bavier, and her passion? Well, it isn't what you think. It turns out that one of Francis's passions was cars, Studebakers in particular. She'd been driving them since the mid-30s, and she was loyal to the Studebaker brand until the very end, as the very last car that she owned was a Studebaker as well. But more on that in just a minute. Let's start by talking about a season 6 episode of Andy Griffith where Aunt Bee learned to drive. I'm guessing that Ms. Bavier may not have been super happy to have had to act like she couldn't drive, but of course, as always, Francis, being the consummate professional that she was, did a fine job of conveying all of Aunt Bee's so very human frustrations about always having to rely on others for transportation. And also a shout out to George Lindsay, who does a great job in this episode as well. The thing that made the Andy Griffith Show so wonderful was the great ensemble of characters, or actors I should say, who made the city of Mayberry seem like the town just down the road, a place where we all wish we could live. So a few years later, Francis did get a chance to exercise a bit of payback in an episode of Mayberry RFD, the sequel to, or the spin-off of, the Andy Griffith Show. In this episode, Aunt Bee was called to drive, and Bavier refused to do it unless she could drive her own car. Thus, viewers finally got a chance to see her with her personal passion, a 1966 Studebaker, a two-door Lark Daytona. It turns out that the 66 model was the Studebaker's last year of vehicle production, so the Daytona was Bavier's last new car. She didn't buy another. She loved that car so much that she owned it for the rest of her life. She never had to buy anything else, and because she was a loyal member of the Studebaker's driving club, she had access to other Studebaker owners when spare parts were needed. When Francis passed away in 1989, the Studebaker was found in her garage with 4 flat tires. The interior was in pretty bad shape because over the years, Ms. Bavier's cats had adopted it as a pseudo-kitty condo. At the time, those in charge of her estate thought that it might sell for maybe a couple of $100. However, as soon as word got out about the Studebaker, they realized that there was keen interest in the vehicle and that it might actually bring in a couple of $1,000s. End of the day, that Lark Daytona sold for, well, more than a couple $1,000s. Auto collector Bob Johnson bought the vehicle at auction for $20,000. And here's the best part. He vowed to, aside from inflating the tires, do nothing to the vehicle. At the end of the day, he wanted it to remain Aunt Bee's Studebaker. Well, that's it. By the way, per her wishes, much of the proceeds of Francis Bavier's estate went to a local hospital. While she may have lived out her final years as something of a recluse, one of her final acts was truly kind and generous, and I'm certain that it has benefited many others over the years. So what do you think? Are you a fan of the Studebaker line of cars? Truthfully, I don't see the appeal. Let me know in the comments section below, and while you're at it, click on the thumbs up and subscribe buttons. That's how I'll know to make more videos like this one. But most importantly, as always, thank you so much for watching.